take a drive on this Saturday night, where we take our turns picking music we like. You'll hold my hand as we cruise down the street, and I admire you from the passenger seat. You show me your hometown and where you grew up. You point out the restaurants and shops that you loved. You're taking me downtown to spots I've not seen, and I'll take the pics from the passenger seat. Ooh, let's take a ride. Ooh, just you and I. Ooh, take me along. Ooh, till the going gets gone. I love that you're always willing to stop for lattes and Starbucks, 'cause that's what I want. Don't worry, I'll pay, this one's on me, and we'll toast our drinks in the passenger seat. I offer to drive every once in a while, even though mine is not quite the best style. Sometimes I can't help but drift off to sleep, 'cause I'd rather be in the passenger seat. Ooh, let's take a ride. Ooh, just you and I. Ooh, take me along. Ooh, till the going gets gone. Well, I wanna go with you wherever you are. I'm willing to journey, yet near or far. And baby, I know you do the same. Look at these beautiful memories we made. Well, I wanna thank you for all that you've done. When you're with me, you do more than enough. Well, I don't need nothing else to protect me, 'cause I feel safest in your passenger seat. Ooh, let's take a ride. Ooh, just you and I. Ooh, take me along. Ooh, till the going gets gone. In the passenger seat, and I admire you from the passenger seat.
Damn, kid! That makes me emotional, you little fucker.
Yeah, that's outstanding. You wouldn't think I could hit a note like that, but I'm really pretty good. Oh no, wait, that wasn't me at all.
I can't believe how good you were on the ooze.
No, yeah, you're outstanding. That's
Thank you.
great.
Thank you.
When did you write that?
Last fall.
Hold on. And why haven't I heard that?
Because you don't come to my shows.
Wait, let's say who this is first, and then we know really how big a piece of shit you are for not knowing shows.
Introduce yourself.
Okay, hello, my name is Breanna Faith.
How do people find your music?
You can find all my originals and covers on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. I post a lot of my performance videos there, as well as Facebook and Instagram. And I have a website, breannafaith.com. It's got a list of all my upcoming shows, as well as more music, pictures, and information.
And what's the best thing about your life? Who are you related to that's amazing?
My Uncle Jason.
Oh my God.
No, in all honesty, this is my goddaughter. This is Breanna Faith.
And all the talent in your family.
Went there.
Out of everybody that I've met thus far,
Now
it
you
all
found it.
resides
I think
right
she was
here.
adopted.
She must have been.
If you see her mom or dad, adopted.
I thought I was for years. And then Johnny came.
Yeah, well, you should see when her and her little brother get on the. He's got the drums. He's like.
We're not here to talk about him.
No, but
No, we're not
he's
here to
like
talk about
animal.
him.
He's like animal with the like.
Really?
Great story there, buddy. That brought me to tears. I'm very.
Really?
It's great.
Yeah, that was
Thank you.
That was really, really good.
Thank you.
I was damn kid. I'm just like holy shit.
Yeah,
I wrote
that's
that
impressive.
entire song in less than an hour.
No kidding.
What's it about? Being in the passenger seat?
It is. In the trunk.
Very
When I was
astute.
kidnapped, we were gonna call it the trunk, but we couldn't find anything to rhyme with trunk. Drunk.
Right.
I was drunk in the trunk.
Right. Okay,
there.
so let me ask what took you down this road.
I had just thought about some of the bigger things in a relationship that are obviously like, the dinner dates or the adventures or the plans or whatnot. But I think looking at it from a deeper perspective, I think what's important is also looking at the smaller aspects of it, such as something as small as just a car drive to the grocery store or whatever.
Right.
And I think sometimes especially as relationships get, a year, 2 years, 3 years, you really have to start putting in more and more effort. And I think looking at that through smaller things and making them into a bigger perspective is what's really important.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, what are some things that I do in the passenger seat? Let's fall asleep. Let's go to coffee and whatnot.
Narcolepsy.
Right.
Epilepsy.
That's why she's in. That's why she's
We're
in the
gonna talk
passenger
about
seat.
that too. We'll talk about that too. But so
is this a talent you've always kind of had? Is it something you've?
can I tell you?
No. But I mean, I know you're born with
actually
with
just
an
started
amount of
singing
talent.
last
But
week. No.
Yeah,
this is new. What do you guys think?
she couldn't afford dinner the other night.
Right.
She's like, in the passengers, they're like, free. It's free. In fact, we've got a guitar over there. Can you take it home with you?
Well, I mean, is this something that like you've played guitar for most of your life,
Right.
and you've always just kind of sang along with and.
Yes, so I'm 23 now. I picked up the guitar when I was around 7 or 8 years old. And it was before then that I knew I wanted to be a singer, but my parents said, you cannot be a singer without an instrument, and it's just not how it works. So guitar it was.
Okay.
And as I did the guitar lessons, I was also singing along with the songs. And then I did like talent shows and stuff, and they were like, all right, you actually kind of need vocal lessons. So I did.
Being related.
Right. The fact that
No
she's related to
chance.
you,
I
right?
think it was a money grab.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, the two just kind of came together, and the more I
Yeah.
played, the more I wanted to be my own artist, and that's where the songwriting came in when I was 12, 13. And I've just been growing from there.
Nice.
So this all started when she was born. She was the first grandchild, first niece, everybody, little redheaded, like little
Attention
little,
whore.
Right.
That's no shit. Little
Hey.
orphan Annie, but they lived in Austin. She was born in Austin.
Texas,
And-
correct?
Yeah, and then they lived.
There are more than one Austin, dude.
Nobody in the planet would think Austin, Montana.
Except the people in Austin, Montana go, hey, a hometown girl.
we get one person listening.
How come we don't know her?
We get one person from Austin, Montana. I will take this back.
Austin, Montana, call out.
Please, Kyle's over there begging. Please, Austin, Montana. No, her first couple of years they were away, so we would go see them. We'd get videos.
Uh-huh.
And
then you ignored them.
Well, one of my favorite videos was they sent one back.
Come on, swing.
No, when
you
they-
know it.
no.
He's terrible, uncle.
When they moved to, what are you kidding me, dude?
Are you
Ask her what she
kidding
used to
me?
get for gifts from her.
I've heard you sing and I've heard her sing.
When I was 1 year old,
Uh-huh.
he got me an E.T. doll. Like a big stuffed animal,
Hey,
but it was E.T.
life size.
Right.
The thing was, I swear to God, it was 3 feet tall. She wasn't 3 feet tall.
And before he was married, he'd wrap all my gifts in newspaper.
Newspaper.
Nice.
Hey, I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you're trying to help
Hey,
him.
I was green before green was cool, and now I think it's the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever seen in my life. And then she got, what'd you get for your baptism? Remember the picture?
No,
that
I don't remember. I was 3
Yeah.
months
Remember
old.
Yeah,
the
nobody
picture
knows.
that I gave you, me on the beach.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
and it was signed.
Right.
I I had a picture of me on the beach. And
Excellent. I'm sure she treasures
a
it.
silver frame that says, "I love you, Uncle JJ." And I'm looking back. Kyle, it's as big as that. It's as big as that over there.
It's like 3 by 3, right? Nice.
It's not an 8 by 10.
No.
Can you imagine my parents and then they're like, I can't believe we picked this guy as the Godfather.
Right.
I think the thinking was, well, he's not going to heaven. She will.
Right.
Somebody up there will go, but God, that was her Godfather. She's done pretty well, despite.
Yeah, doing okay. Doing it with an anchor.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story about the little buddy and superstar over here. So they used to send videos home, right? They'd videotape stuff. And so she was old enough to talk and old enough to walk. And they're videoing her in their family room in Maryland. And she's dancing. Or always
Maryland,
dancing.
the state?
Yes, the state of Maryland. Maryland Monroe.
Well, I mean, Jesus.
She was standing on Marilyn Monroe's grave. No, so she's...
I was thinking like Maryland, Indiana.
Where is Maryland, Indiana?
It's up north, I think. It could be. The people of Maryland, Indiana are going.
Jonathan, can you fact check this real quick?
Jonathan, get out your phone. You had no idea you're going to be this intricate in this. But no, so they send a video, and they're going through, and it's a longer video. It's probably an hour and whatever. We're all watching it, and they're there. We're home. So our whole family's watching it, and all of a sudden, she's dancing and shit, and you just hear this. And she looks at the camera from across the room and goes, I farted. I fell off the chair. I go,
That's great. There it is. There it is.
That's what I'm talking about.
Star. It's in there. It could be.
Where, Jonathan?
The west side.
What?
The west side.
It says neighborhood. It's not even a.
That's not a neighborhood.
It's there. It's there.
It's in there?
He found it. It's there. I drove through it yesterday.
I don't trust a guy that just jumped off a bus. I'm sorry. Okay, that's
So there we go.
Well, a tornado just went through there and destroyed it, so feel bad. Sorry, Maryland. We will donate We'll donate our Dubby proceedings.
I'm just saying.
To Maryland, Indiana.
I'm just saying. Be specific. That's
specific.
all. So I have a couple questions. So number one, and this is for real. I am in awe of talent, and you have a load. That was really, really good. But tell me, like, give me a path, a trajectory. Like, how did it start? And I know you said when it started 3, but I mean, like when it really started to pick up for you, and you thought, hey, this is a viable career.
Well, and what the path looks like, and that's the thing that I've talked to. Obviously, her dad's my brother, and the path to trying to get to where you want to be.
Well, it's almost unattainable, and the fact that you've done it, I mean, it's just astounding.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work? When you decided we got to go to Nashville, that had to be intimidating. I mean, walk us through a little bit of the story.
Not intimidating so much as exciting, but like the time around when I started my vocal lessons, my vocal coach would actually put me out in shows. It started out with like contests and vocal competitions, like within the county fairs or the state fairs. Or
is this high school-ish age?
I was 12, 13, 14.
Okay, so middle school.
Yeah.
Okay.
6th grade, and she would put me out with like different other students of hers that we would all just do like random shows together or Christmas shows especially, and we would just take turns on the stage singing different solos. 2 years into that is when I got my first solo 2-hour show at a place called Teddy's Burger Joint.
I was just there. Now it's Jose Cuervo Mexican Joint. We were just there tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
10 years ago, it was Teddy's Burger Joint, and it was my first solo 2-hour show. And every single family member came out, several friends. I just felt so much support, so much love, and I was so happy. I knew that it's what I wanted to do. I felt comfortable. Like I said, I was that dancing, singing little kid ever since I was. And the fact that I got to do it for a bunch of people and do it because I've always loved it, that's kind of when I knew that's what I wanted to do. So after that, I would do I did like the St. Jude Festival, something small for another family friend. And then from there, each opportunity just kind of presented itself. And then I think my first Nashville trip was when I was 16. Again, it was put on with the help of my vocal coach. She found a local TV show called Nashville Spotlight that singers would go on, and they filmed it, and they had it aired for like local television shows in Nashville. And then there was a recording studio
who knew the main producer of Nashville Spotlight, and that's where I first recorded a cover of Jolene, a cover of Before He Cheats, and I believe Atmosphere, which was like my very first single. But that also, I was like 13, so it's not as good as Passenger Seat at all. But that's kind of what kickstarted it, and that was almost 10 years ago.
Wow. It's pretty cool stuff. I've got great stories from when she was little, though. So
that's okay.
So
we'll
when,
pass.
when Krista and I got married, this is a good story. This is a good story about my beautiful niece here. She does have a little brother that is he's a goofy kid. But so we're at the wedding, we're at our wedding reception, and somehow the little brother gets the microphone and sings the Star Spangled Banner. And he was
like 2.
He was like 2
2 or 3.
Dude, and he was in leg braces. He was like Forrest Gump leg braces.
Nice.
Right? And he's belting this shit out. And she's probably 7, right? You're 5 years.
Yeah.
Throwing a fit.
Because he's on stage and you don't get to be.
I was
And
pissed.
people are like, it's okay. No, it's not okay. I've been doing this. He has it. He shows up, just grabs the shit and goes. And and what ended up happening was both of my wife and I's nieces and nephews, everybody ended up in tears. Like her nephews were in tears because my wife was crying because she got married. Like, oh, the happy tears.
Yeah, well, probably.
Maybe not.
Debatable.
But
right?
they're crying because she's crying. She's crying because he's singing. He's crying because he's in leg braces. I mean, it was if we were behind the scenes, people would be like, God, this looks like child abuse. But it was funny. She was so pissed. But she
Still am.
Still am.
I held him underwater.
That's why he's not playing percussion on your album.
I broke both.
Yeah, it was
arms.
funny back then, but not so funny now.
You thought Def Leppard's drummer was good with one arm. No, but she tends to forget that before there was the little one, she was the one standing on tables. And I'll never forget this, singing Neon Moon by Brooks and Dunn.
Right.
And every time I hear that song, to this day, and
think of her.
It's been 20 some odd years.
Right.
And every time I hear it, my kids are in the car and I'm like, Breanna sang this when she was 3. What? On a table.
Why do you have no talent?
On a table. Why can't you be like Breanna? Damn it. You are a good amount of nothing. Nothing and you like it. But no, that was, damn, kid, that was really good, kiddo.
Yeah, it really was.
That was awesome. How did the show go last night?
It was great.
Make any money?
A lot.
So you're in town to do a single show, or you do live here?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Indianapolis.
Not
Indiana,
Maryland.
not Maryland.
Indianapolis, Indiana.
So
The only one in
Not the other one.
Not the USA.
hey, don't start in on geography
you are
with me.
smarter than me. But not the USS Indianapolis. It was sunk in the Pacific.
All right. No, what I was going to ask. So, are you touring mostly around this area, or are you nationwide? Are you worldwide? Are you?
The majority of my shows are Indianapolis, usually north side, south side. But I have traveled to Brown County. I've done Shelbyville. I've done a little bit, not Crown Point, but more Maryville area. I have done a few in Nashville, Tennessee. I did a couple songs at Tootsie's, a couple songs at Rippy's. And I did a whole gig on Broadway with my buddy Hunter Lott. We did Margaritaville once.
Nice.
And then a few writers' rounds down there. But I wouldn't say I'm like nationally known just yet. When the majority of my following's
but
here.
you're working on that, right?
Yeah. That's
We've
the
got
goal.
37 followers
That's
now.
the goal.
Dude, there's
Right. Hell
37
yeah.
more people that know you now. What would it take, though? What would it take? I mean, so...
Money.
No, but if you decided, I'm going to try this. The whole path, the way that your dad describes it, is trying to get into that business. I mean, you got to know. I mean, there's what are the secret? You got to know people that know people that know people.
Yeah,
you got to play
that
the
helps.
game. How does it work? I mean,
if you ask my dad, he'll say, it's all about who you know. But it's also about, like, actually having the talent. And unfortunately, one of the hardest parts about being an artist in the 21st century is social media. So what a lot of labels and producers and directors and agencies want are people who have a ton of followers, because then that shows, oh, wow, a lot of people must like them. But that's not always easy. I only have on Instagram almost 2,000 followers, Facebook maybe 1,600 or 1,700 maybe, but labels and stuff are only going to look at more if you have like more than 10,000 or whatever. So that part is tricky. However, I mean, the only thing I can do is just do more shows and advocate myself as much as I can. It's always been a goal of mine to be in Nashville by the time I'm like 26, 27, because I wanted to work my early 20s getting the money for that and doing the shows and still building my name and my career. And now that I have a career, not only in music, but in my medical field as well, now I have both of those to take with me and hopefully get established down there.
So let's be honest, you're probably missing a great backup singer.
Right.
And I mean, I don't have a lot of time, but I would carve some out if you needed help.
Good.
What are you laughing about?
Right.
I was in show choir.
All right. I know you were.
And I act.
Right.
Act like I like you every time we come on here, you dick.
Yeah, we heard you the other night singing Grease 2.
We did do some Grease too.
Grease 2 is embarrassing.
What?
Crickets.
Yeah.
Do you have sound effects on there? That's
Yeah.
what you should have played when you were talking about my dad.
Don't you?
I'm just kidding.
He's gonna hear this, and I'm gonna get yelled at for that. You smart ass.
I get it from you.
But don't throw me under the bus with that guy. That guy thinks Kyle's funny.
I am funny. You don't know. You don't know funny. You do know funny. You know me.
Some people got it, some don't.
Yeah.
You got a little. You're Dennis Miller funny. I'm Chris Farley funny. Like, what a dope. Everybody needs a dope, Kyle. I'm the dope. The interesting part of it is so I think you're doing it the right way. I had a buddy that went to California to try to be an actor, and he did it the right way. He got his degree. You know, he got his teaching license, and then he went out there and he taught. So he didn't have to struggle like some of these people that end up, singing on the corner down in Nashville and not making it, and then they have to
Wait. Nashville, Tennessee or Nashville, Indiana?
Right.
Tennessee.
See?
Are we going to play geography all day?
Just play specific.
JUCO.
3 years.
That was not me, you dick. I was there 2 years, and I was whatever the.
It's not about you today. Let's lay off. It's not about you today.
Go down 26 people. I was
Easy.
that.
Yeah, we
Victorian.
reach back far
Maybe
enough. We'll find when you were great. Right.
No, but I think you're doing it the right way. And tell people what you do when you're not doing music, what you do to make minus the music, what your career is, why you got into it, because your story is really interesting about that.
So when I'm not singing, my job title is called a neurodiagnostic technologist, which is a big fancy word for EEG tech. So you got your MRIs, your CTs, and then there's a test called EEGs that look at the electrical activity in the brain. Specifically, we rule out seizures. It can also be used to help with like strokes or other neurological disorders. But how I got into that was because I was diagnosed with epilepsy when I was like 7 or 8. And I had my fair share of EEGs. And the older I got, the more fascinated I just became with it. And when I had one of my EEGs in high school, it was my best friend's mom that actually worked at Riley who helped explain like everything that goes into her job, why she does it, what she does on a daily basis. And that really clicked with me. And that's something I could really see myself doing. So after high school, well, it was COVID, so I kind of had to wait a while. But I made sure I got into like a 14-month online program that gave me the study materials as well as the in-person training and clinicals that it took. And that's what I do. And now I work at Riley, and I help other kiddos who have seizures and epilepsy.
Wow.
And for anybody that doesn't know,
You're like a super person.
Thank you.
No, come on, man.
let's back it down the driveway.
Get easy, mister. I was in show choir. Everyone look at me.
I was
no,
a soloist.
look. Yeah. Yeah.
What? They
Right.
put me on the side of the
30
stage.
years ago, you were undeniable. Well, that day's done,
I was
sir.
on my way.
That day's done, sir. We've got the future here.
The real deal. We actually have the real deal here.
No, that is very impressive. And I know how hard that is to get in those schools. My mom tried to do the same thing. She's now a geologist.
Yeah,
you needed a 4.1 to get in or you needed a 4.2 to be in the school she wanted to be in, and she had a 4.1 And then they said, hey, why don't you come look at rocks? And she was like, I'm down.
They said, go kick rocks. And she goes, geology sounds great.
Done. So now she's professor of geology. But yeah, no, that's
at Ivy Tech.
That's right.
She made it. She's arrived. She'll never listen to this.
You are so wrong, actually.
Dead, no, but this one.
No, that's impressive. That's double duty. I mean, because just the music part of it, I think, would be almost overwhelming.
It is.
Right, and then piling that on top of.
Mm-hmm. But it helps that I have a balance of it too.
Yeah, you can't get too deep into one or the other because
that'd be a lot.
Right.
But
well, that gives you that break where you're overwhelmed with whatever. You can stop it and go do this for a minute. So yeah.
Yeah. Because after 36 hours a week, I'm like, God, I'm just so sick of kids. So then I can go sing on stage
for more kids.
A bunch of drunk adults in a bar.
Right,
it's drastically different.
Perfect.
But then when I'm so sick of the drunk adults, I'm like, I just can't wait to work with kids again. And then you get that balance.
Right. That's great.
Yeah. See, we told her,
right?
Like, if you want to take the step from show choir to the big time, that's where I kind of left it. I said, you fill in the blank.
Right. I don't know what the rest of that sentence is, like but if you wanna
avoid junior college,
right?
Go get a degree. Yeah, great, fantastic. No, that's awesome, buddy. Very, very proud of you. Do you have another one in you?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. Dubby. You want to talk about your experience?
Yeah, I want to talk about Dubby. So, I actually...
you can get set up. We got to do a quick commercial
I drank a couple Dubbies on the way over. I didn't even have to drive.
Dude.
I live like 30 miles away. I just ran. I grabbed a backpack and just ran.
I could not believe when you showed up how many yards were tore up. I'm like, man, what the hell was coming this way? I'll tell you what, man, I had diarrhea for 3 days. I drank some Dubby.
Gone.
Guys,
it doesn't...
go visit Dubby.com. Use the promotion code
Unplanned.
Get
10% off your order.
10% off, dude. You're gonna show,
and you're gonna be 10% better at least. At least 10% better.
That's for people that only take a half portion. If you drink a full portion of that shit,
right?
You might start your own construction company, and your wife's gonna be sore.
Oh, right. Somebody's
sore, like mad.
Right.
Mad that you're so energetic.
Right.
All right. Let's take a quick break.